GoMovieTalks.
Bonjour, bienvenue to notre programme. Oh, excuse me.
Oh
We
my God.
we were watching a French movie, so we were still in the mood. Welcome
Bonjour.
to our show, Go Movie Talks. This is Freddy speaking, and this is my co-host, Maria Laura. Maria Laura, how are you doing?
Fine. Très bien, très bien. Merci.
Bien, merci. Magnifique. Okay, of course, we are discussing a French movie today. What's the name, Maria Laura?
I had a long time without watching black and white movies, and I found this so delicious. The name is The Eyes Without a Face.
Les yeux and visage. That's original name, correct. The Eyes Without a Face from 1966. So we're going back in time, people.
That's right. You might notice, people, Freddy's French is quite beautiful and pretty much better than mine. Okay, so if there's anything to be said in French, Freddy will do the honors here to.
I mean, it's not
text us.
perfect, so we'll see.
Pardon
Our
my French.
our French speaking audience can drop their comments on my French. And I'll be grilled, I'm sure, but we'll see. All right. So, Maria Laura, again, very basically put, because we do have a lot of background for this movie, but I want to know first, did you like the movie?
I loved it. At the beginning, it was like, oh my God, how can she be so stupid? How can they be so, But I think the end of the movie was glorious, It's the type of ending we all wish to see, you see? It's like, okay, everything failed by its own weight, and I guess it's nice,
How can you quickly summarize the movie for our lovely audience?
Oh, crazy doctor, professor. Because I guess at that time, they dedicated to both to attend patients and also teaching at universities. Okay.
Correct.
So a crazy doctor who never got over from his daughter's accident with her face, and he tried all his best to help her. Not in the best way, but yes. And actually, once you see this movie, you can realize probably this was part of the inspiration of other authors, such as, for example, Almodóvar, even Guillermo del
Michael Myers.
Toro. Sorry?
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers, yes, exactly. And as I was saying, Guillermo del Toro with the new Frankenstein version. So yes, I mean, lovely. Okay, and it's lovely to see one more time the way special effects were treated at the moment. Okay.
Yes, again, lovely audience. Of course, you need to understand that a movie from 1966, you watch it now, and most likely you'll say, "Oh, but there is nothing original about it," and clearly you are comparing it with the most recent films that most likely are recycling ideas that may or may not have originated from this movie in 1966. So you are unjustly judging the movie, because Maria Laura already made a huge point about this. And again, this is my approach when judging a old movie. You need to do some research in the sense that, was this movie influential? the answer for this one is yes.
Absolutely.
Laura is accurate. A lot of people that are or horror directors reference this movie in particular, and you called it out already. The mask worn by the doctor's daughter whenever she's in between surgeries to, a face transplant. That mask is referenced as influential for a lot of different horror movies, but the most important one might be Michael Myers from the Halloween
non-horror
series.
movies too. I remember it's exactly the same technique of Face Off with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. Remember?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's exactly
So
the same technique. You know, they cut the face by the border and then they switch. Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think that's the most special thing about it. There are some very unique ideas, but the special effects are, I'm pretty sure, what drove its success and why it's still reverenced as an iconic movie.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, here on this side of the ocean, uh, we really don't know much about it. But I first heard of it not even from doing horror research or anything, but rather when we watched what's it called, Holy Motors,
Oh.
and the driver actress is the doctor's assistant. Yeah, didn't you remember? That's how I learned about this movie.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Oh my God, Freddy, so beautiful, so beautiful.
Exactly. That's the only reason why I wanted it here. I had not watched it. And actually, it shouldn't be the doctor's assistant. It's probably the doctor's daughter because,
It's
again,
Dr.
remember,
Center.
exactly because of the age. She
Yeah,
probably was very young at the time, and
yeah.
now grew old, and she acted in Holy Motors. So we're referencing the
Wow.
video we watched here, and I remember in that video I mentioned this movie. So
Yeah.
here we are. Now we are going back to that one, and none of us had watched it. By the way, well, the new set of movies we are bringing to the
Right.
table, none have watched before. So we're
So,
both going directly into it.
well, after this, Holy Motors is even more special for me, for
But
us, actually.
and that's something very special about art in general.
Yes.
Knowing those references, those
Wow.
little details that just make it even more delicious.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
it's all connected. Even maybe you don't know it, and that's, again, it's not your fault. But at the same time, when you start finding out about these different connections and inspirations, it's like, oh wow, look how complex
Wow.
a piece of art can be. Because it's not necessarily original, but at the same time, how it all comes together, how it's presented, the effect it has, that's what makes a
And
piece of art special.
and how it is brought to a current context with a current mindset with with a totally new perspective, so again, it's marvelous, it's marvelous. I had forgotten, I mean, I didn't make a connection of this movie with what you said about Holy Moly, but now that you said, yeah, I said, okay, yes, this is it. Oh my God, oh my God. Fantastic. Lovely, lovely. And it's lovely to the way you could see, for example, but I mean, the way they made the scene where, the girl, the one of the girls actually, because it was
The
Barry, it
victims.
was not only one.
The victims.
Later on, you realize this guy has been doing this for a while, but the way they treat it so perfectly, I mean, we're talking about the 70s, right? So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like
before the 60s.
the 60s. Imagine that. And the way they treat that image about, again, taking the face out of this person. I said, wow, but this looks nice. I mean,
That's also something
so cute.
very I mean, they attribute a lot of avant-garde special effects at the time because again, you see it now. It's like, oh, but that's average. But okay, it's been 80 years since that movie was filmed,
There was
so
no
the fact
CGI, not even Instagram.
nothing exactly. There is that kind of special effects did not exist. So the fact that it still looks gruesome and it makes you feel unsettling. That's just, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it was like very human making, like you could see, for example, when this girl fell from the window and she was, on the floor, eyes open, dead, but her pupils were moving, So at some point, this is wow, this is cute. You see, that level of technical issues is what easily inspired the necessity of elaborating more on technologies to overcome these situations, to overcome these little details, okay, to make people believe what they're watching. So,
That is something a lot of horror directors, and again, this movie is not necessarily horror, but it you can tell it kickstarted a lot of elements that are currently used in horror movies, or at least were during the 80s and 90s. The
mhm,
fact that how do you work around the fact that you need to show something on a screen? That's where pure creativity and artistry came into play. Because nowadays it's mostly computer, and the viewer not understands it, but realizes that we're using a lot of special effects. So it doesn't hit the same way. Instead, when you are left as a viewer wondering, oh, how did they do that? That looks real. So it's that that's what actually makes it more intriguing. And a lot of horror directors, for instance, John Carpenter, the director of The Thing, will hopefully eventually watch it. But he's one director that in this movie in particular, The Thing, he never used CGI. The special effects were practical, just like this movie. So you need to find a way to make it credible to the audience, to make it impactful, and also keep it in the budget. So it's amazing with a computer. A lot more things are possible, but at the same time there is that extra layer of, oh, as a viewer, it doesn't look real. You can tell it's a computer. So it you need to balance that part, and it's
yeah,
very
yeah.
interesting.
Even though, I mean, yes, eyes can get used to anything, if it's computer, okay, but seduce me with something more, something, maybe the drama, maybe the photography, maybe the colors, I don't know, the outfits, etc., etc. Okay. But something I found particularly beautiful about this movie, gorgeous, was photography. Okay. I mean, any of the pictures, just pop this movie in any of the photographs,
Frames and
frames, exactly. And you say, this is a picture. I can have it here in the wall, and look at that and contemplate it like for a really long time. So again, wow, what a perspective. And that's actually the kind of perspectives. I mean, some of the shots were very Wes Anderson, some of the shots were very I mentioned him before, Almodovar, this guy of Skins also, the
Eduardo Casanova.
Schwarzenegger, Eduardo Casanova, exactly, etc., etc., etc. Okay, but in black and white. Okay, and with that granular texture of the movies of that time that makes them so wonderful. Fantastic. I just love it. I just love it. It was delightful.
I'm glad. I wasn't sure if you were going to, because plot wise, I do think the movie loses track a little bit in the middle. like for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, again, that to me, and again, this is comparing it with a different art form. I do think French, the way they write, it's a very different. I've the few French books from classic literature that I've read, it's very different to the style in which, I don't know, Spanish books or even English books are written. So that could also be translated to the screen. French people just have a different way of not interpreting information, but the way they like the information being delivered might be different. And that it's already catering to a very specific audience, because I don't know, I imagine at the time they weren't thinking of, oh, making this a worldwide success. It was just a movie thought of for specifically France, and of course possibly the surrounding areas at best.
Exactly. And you
So
can see also, many details proper from France, like, for example, the treatment, okay, of these people and how these women captivated, the attention of these young ladies and all that, and how they related to each other. I mean, that was very France at that time. Okay, I'm not saying they're like that nowadays. I haven't been there, and I don't have any French friends so far. Okay, but the fashion. Okay, the all the elements proper from France, and also the elements of the universal elements, okay, that connect with anyone in the world. I mean, like, for example, the stupidity of police, okay. I mean, I mean, come on.
I was not going to be that straightforward, but yes, the doctor manipulated the police every single time they were onto the doctor. So it's like, okay, clearly you have no clue what you're doing, because at some point they knew, okay, this guy has something to do with this. But the doctor would just say, because he was a very much well respected figure in society at the moment.
Yes.
So okay, I get it. You take into account his opinion, but
and that is something many authors, not only in France, but also in this part of the world, treated at the moment. Okay. I don't know if you have seen this, I think it's Buñuel's movie. It's called Luis Buñuel. It's called That's him. Okay. And again, the plot, it's a different plot. There is a crazy guy also, but in front of the society, they were respected men. They're pretty well known because of their social position and their status and their job and all that. Okay. So again, it's humans being humans. It's like, okay, we've talked about this pretty much in this show. So there is France and there are universal elements. Getting back to the idiotic policeman, at that particular moment, I was thinking, oh my God, I mean, they just left the girl to just die in the hands of
I
these
mean, but that's the thing.
men.
They because exactly, I realized they were onto the doctor, because this lady who happens to be very similar to the doctor's daughter, of course, when she was taken, okay, something's going on, but they didn't push any further. So okay, I understand you don't have any evidence, but I would say the director purposely put them as not pushy enough. Just, oh yeah, we have we're following this lead, but they're very easily misled by the doctor. So it's
And
okay, you have
she's
no clue.
missing. You set her into that situation.
Exactly.
She's
So
missing.
clearly, you know there is an element there that you were already suspecting. Why are you just leaving,
Like that.
knowing the lady's probably there? But uh,
Yeah, it's that kind of details, and I don't think this is part of of the mentality of people of the moment. It's just that, the director pretty well wanted to emphasize the the repetitive behavior of policemen of not ever knowing what they're doing.
The
Okay?
lack of critical thinking, I'd say.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. So,
Because yes, it's not saying they were right or wrong. They were right about, okay, I need to follow here to follow up with this guy. But and also the way the movie presents it, the doctor is a very intelligent. That's why he ended up being a professor. So that clearly the doctor is manipulating them. But okay, I mean, police officers are dealing with something very critical, so you would expect them to question facts a little more beyond just sure. What you're telling me is
to
absolutely
have
right.
to have like a pretty well planned and orchestrated set so as to make the doctor fall into this trap, you know? It's not just, okay, let's set this girl up to see what happens. Oh, she disappeared. Okay, good night.
A lot of and this is, you could say this movie is actually a thriller, and thrillers tend to involve police and that part of that investigation storyline with the police. But in this case, they were very much showing you what I'm sure the director thought was a reality. The fact that police, yeah, they're doing their job, but are they doing it well? Mhm.
Mhm.
They're just doing it. And again, no criticism to anybody. I'm hoping we're not hurting any feelings, but this is just how I mean, you as a viewer, you understand that the director has a very specific point of view in regards to police performance, for
He's got an
example.
intention. He's got an
Exactly, and that's kind of the intention, yeah, because they never they were there, they were part of the storyline, but ultimately they never really resolved any issue. If anything, they helped the doctor by providing more one more victim. And doctor's like, oh, thank you, I'll take it from here, give it to me.
more food for the beast.
Oh, perfect, my daughter needs another face. What? Oh, sorry, I'm yeah, I'm sick. I'm sorry. I don't know what I said.
Oh, no, 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 no. But it
Also,
was great.
very interesting, and I did not know this. This was part of my research. This movie is based off a book, and the book is more explicit when it comes to animal experiments. The
All
movie
right.
barely hints at it. That's why the lots of dogs, and I had not realized this, and I was watching a discussion between two guys. Supposedly the conversation. I mean, the conversation was very good, and the same thing happened to me. One of the guys was talking about this, that he was the one who commented the fact that this movie was based off a book, and then the other one said, "Well, but how do you know about animal experiments?" And the other one is saying, "Well, didn't you see the patches on the dogs, on one of the dogs at some point on a bed?" I had not noticed. I mean, I noticed, but I thought it was the black and white. And then the other guys are like, no, it's a square. It's very obvious
Yeah.
he was doing transplants. And like, well, okay, I hadn't thought of it. I did not realize. But it's very interesting that the same thing happened to me. I had discarded it. And then like, oh, look, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and again, that I insist, this is also why we are trying to get you to talk about the movie as well. Because these kind of not surprises, but elements that were included in the movie, I did not realize. And I'm sure these similar situations can present itself themselves to you while watching it.
Yeah.
And when you discuss it, that's when you realize, oh, yeah, I missed this, I missed that. So,
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is that I mean, yeah, absolutely, absolutely great. Okay. Nothing to envy to any. mysterious or horror movie from these times. But again, I mean, if there have been great ideas regarding this type of movies, they come definitely from sources like this. Okay, I'm pretty sure all these big directors have had the chance to be in contact with this kind of movie.
That's why context is very important to judge anything in general.
Yes.
But with movies, it also applies. You may be judging it, saying, "Oh, but I've seen better." Okay, when were those movies made? Probably those movies had some kind of influence from this.
Exactly.
So, and I will say it. I think with it's very not irregular, but very different the way we judge, for instance, a painting versus the way movies are judged. I think people are better trained, even general public are trained at understanding that paintings are very old, so techniques of the moment, etc. Instead, with movies, a lot of people just disregard old movies as there are better remakes or versions of the same story, or better
Or
retellings, when it's the same. It's exactly the same. Some movies started paving the path to movies in the present or even in the future. So why are we disregarding them as not good anymore? They still are. They still hold up.
that's something. That's something that's a very interesting topic. Disregarding the the contribution of everything. Okay, even if it's something good or bad that has happened to you, and this is something that reminds me of a movie, Blue Jasmine, and the other one, which I think the source of inspiration of that movie. It's uh, uh un tranvía.
Tranvía llamado Deseo.
Ajá, in English.
What's the name in Spanish? It's not a train. It's not a train called Desire. I don't remember the
Mm,
word tranvía in English.
alright.
Weird. But yeah,
But when you watch those movies, okay, then you realize, okay, this is what Blue Jasmine was all about. But what's interesting about Blue Jasmine or Tranvía, which I don't recall the name in English, is the fact that
a streetcar called Desire.
sorry,
A streetcar called Desire.
a streetcar called Desire. Okay, and now the principal character, okay, the lady is actually disregarding of all her family's influence, who come from a very primitive and very very poor background. And she's kind of the woman who has found social status and sophistication and everything thanks to her husband. Okay, so at the time she has to get back to that reality. The shock is so strong. Okay, so strong. So at some point, this is what happens to people when they realize that movie is just a remake of this one. Or again,
A big
songs.
inspiration. One movie has a huge inspiration on another one. So
Exactly. Yes. So again, I guess, a better way to understand what's happening at the moment is to have a look at the past and see how history has built a path to all of us, to absolutely all of us. Disregarding your past, even when it has been tough and really bad, I don't know. I don't consider that's a good idea. You have to always recognize at some point in that horrible thing you were living, at some point, something different was happening.
there is something to learn from the past.
Exactly.
And the same thing applies to movies and art. You get or you grab the elements that you consider good, and you make, possibly you try to do something better with those elements. That doesn't mean the original was bad. It's just, oh, I can make something different and hopefully people like it better. But it doesn't mean that the original source needs to be disregarded. Quite the opposite. It that could be very original at the time, and oh, this is the first time this was seen. Look how it was made, and it's got its value. It shouldn't be disregarded. So
that's right. That's right. Okay. And also directors should talk more about that, I guess. Okay. Obviously you're receiving recognition from for the work of art you just presented, and that's very good and all that, but you guys should talk more of what the sources of these inspiration have been. Okay, I mean, I'm pretty sure all of you have had these exposure to many different works of art, not only movies. Okay, I'm talking about works of art in general, books, etc., etc. So again, that's something that should be talked more, and that's actually something should be taught. Okay, so not only teaching history at school, but what's the purpose of teaching history? Okay, show me the core of it, the substance. What are you thinking, Freddy?
so people, conclusion for this video: learn your history. This has been Go Movie Talks.
Investigate, do some research about your past, and you will realize.
Drop in the comments. Drop in the comments what you think about your history.
Stop telling people to drop comments.
People, don't drop comments, but Laura doesn't want you to comment. No, but for real. The backstory of things, it's a very significant, and just like, and again, I'm not saying you have to, but definitely when you do, a Google search away from finding more information, you have the tool right in your hands. You have a phone with internet. Just out of curiosity, Google stuff about what it is you are analyzing. Maybe a movie, maybe
Gemini,
a book,
ChatGPT,
maybe
whatever.
what you're doing at work. You never know what you're gonna find out. So it's always it enriches whatever knowledge you have about something, and it helps you make a better decision at any point. So yes, I highly encourage that.
It helps for movies, it helps for entertainment, it helps for life and decisions as well. This is Go Movie Talks, people. Remember to subscribe, write, comment.
We are a show that discuss movies, but also give you very personal advice. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.
Go Movie Talks.